Hey Cohen, this is Coach Bot from the HitZone Clinic, actually last week, almost coming up on 2 weeks ago now, and I apologize for this video being extremely late. Definitely wanted to get it out sooner than this, but I got really sick, and I've just started to dig out and get caught up on some of these things now. I'm going to try to make my way through this video without coughing, however, I cannot guarantee that, so bear with me. And I want to say, first of all, you do a lot of very good things in your swing. There are a lot of very good components. There are just one big thing I want to point out to you in this video. There are some other things that we could definitely talk about next time if I see you again at one of these clinics, or if I see you at HitZone practicing. Excuse me. And but for the most part, all very good things. Just little details in your swing that might help you out as we move forward. So I want you to focus on your hand position, and I'll point the good thing out that you do with your hands that not a lot of other hitters do. There are a couple different ways to think about this load, and I'm sure you've heard the term, but just in case you haven't, a load more or less basically is the way we get ourselves in a position to hit. So your feet and your front foot and your hands generally are involved in the load. Those are generally the moving parts in the load. And as you can see, as your front foot starts to move forward, I love what your barrel does. Watch how your barrel of the bat, and I'll box that in right there, the barrel comes towards the camera. And it's hard to teach young hitters how to do that, because that is the right way to load. You don't really want your hands to come back, and you don't do that. And we didn't talk about it a whole lot at the clinic, but Paul, our Coach Adams, and I talk about this a lot when we do our lessons. This elbow, let me circle this for you, this elbow right here should actually move back towards the green wall. My laser pointer, this elbow right here should move back towards this green wall. It's hard to see obviously on a video, but that's what your elbow's doing. And when your elbow moves that way, your barrel comes towards the camera. Okay? And that's a big level move. I mean, this is how professional hitters load their hands. So very good. I mean, it's hard to teach that, and I think you do it naturally. But with that being said, you do need to kind of reel it in a little bit and hone it in, because the movement, while you do it and it's good, it's a little too big for you. And what I mean by that is your hand position from where it starts to where it is now. There's a term that Coach Adams and I use. Your hands and shoulders, or your hands and your back shoulder right here. You need to keep these two married. We like to use the term married. So married people are close. We like to keep the hands and shoulders married to each other. Okay, and as you drift through your swing here, we go through in slow motion. Your hands and your back shoulder are together there, and watch how your hands get away from your shoulder. Okay, so you want to just close up that distance a little bit. Don't let them drift away from the shoulder a whole lot. The barrel coming towards the camera, I'm okay with that. That is great. Your elbow going towards the wall, that's great. Just keep your hands and shoulders, or your hands and your back shoulder, I'm sorry, together. Okay? And your forward move with your front foot, while we're talking about this subject of load, watch this move forward. That's a pretty good forward move. You land at a good angle. I know you've been at clinics before with us. Those are all really good elements of your swing. Okay? But remember, when we get to landing here, see how your barrel, your hand positioning, see how far apart. Let me get an arrow for you here. You don't want this distance right there. That's a little too much distance for me. Okay? And I know we were working on getting the barrel slotted and everything, and you did a great job. But remember, slotting the barrel, because you definitely have it slotted, does not mean your hands and shoulders separate. Okay, it's hard, and it's hard to feel it. All right, but we just want this barrel to come down into a slotted position, not necessarily our hands. Okay, and the best way to to explain it on camera without having you one-on-one here for some instruction. It's just to let those wrists relax and don't move the hands so much. Okay, the hands and back shoulder are going to stay together, and that wrist is really just going to get some flexibility in the wrist, and the barrel's going to come down into position. Okay, so that's the big thing I wanted to point out to you. The rest of your swing, I mean, things look pretty good. There are little things we can shore up, little things we could discuss, and again, I'm at HitZone quite a bit, so if you ever want to stop in and ask some of these questions, I'd love to help you. But with that being said, we're looking at this turn here, and when you get to this landing position, we're looking for your belly button right here, and your belt buckle, that area there, and it turns nicely. Okay, and this is a really good turn, and your hand position's great. I mean, your arms are bent the way they should be. Everything with your hands looks good, and the way we check this is if we have the same amount of area between your arms and chest the whole way through the swing. Okay, so this is where your arm starts, and your area never changes. So that's how we know you're turning. You're not really using your hands, and that's what you want. You don't want to use your hands in the swing. You want to turn to the baseball and generate power that way. So, very good stuff, and I think you're starting to feel it. I see how you were working on things in the clinic that we were teaching you that night. Very good. So the turn looks good. Hand position, the swing looks good. Watch your back foot here as we check it out. I'll point it right. I'll just circle it up with a laser. I have my laser pointer right here on your back foot. This back foot actually comes forward slightly. So you're turning. The turn looks good. And the other thing Coach Adams and I like to point out is this line right here. So your belly button generally is about right in there. And we like to have our back knee in front of our belly button if we can when we swing. And as you can see, you're right there. You're on it. So that tells us you're getting good turn, good deep turn. So very good stuff. But the big thing was just keeping your hands and your shoulders together, or your hands and your back shoulder together on the swing. Okay? Well, it's nice having you, Cohen. Thank you so much for coming to the clinics. And we hope that we helped you out. And if you ever have any questions, please feel free to stop by and ask. All right? Take care.